Sweden, the country of beautiful beaches, green forests, and most importantly, delicious cinnamon rolls. My name is Carola, and I'm taking 1 year to bike around Europe to meet Christians from different backgrounds. This week, I was in Sweden. My journey had started 2 weeks earlier and led me through southern Germany up to Marburg, where I hopped on a train to Rostock in order to take the ferry from there over to Sweden. I'm glad that at this point I didn't know about all the challenges I would face on my trip through Sweden. I actually had a great conversation on the train with a guy who creates art out of trash. Once in Rostock, I went to bed early. It's so early, but I'm on time, so I'm off to the ferry. I actually got lost on my way to the ferry, but once I was on, I could lock up my bike and take my stuff to the upper deck where, honestly, this was one of the nicest spots I've ever been editing. I mean, look at this view. But after a couple of hours, I made it to Sweden. It was a little cold, but nothing that a cinnamon roll and a warm drink can't fix. The next day started very rainy, but it finally cleared up and look where I am! Now I have to be honest, I was actually feeling a little bit homesick when I was in Sweden. I think it just really hit me like the gravity of the situation and how long I would be traveling, but I always feel much better when I go to the beach, so this was perfect. The next day I just had a short bike trip up to Malmö. These fields have such pretty colors, so I just want to show you really quick. I made it to the hostel. I'm in the shower room. This is the only room where I don't feel like a weirdo when I talk to the camera. Everything went well today. I was planning on going to the church on Sunday, but somebody who I was in contact with emailed me today and said that I wouldn't be able to go there. I wouldn't be able to film there, so it doesn't really make sense to go. So I have to find a new church, and it's a little spontaneous to find something new now. So yeah, I hope something else comes up. I'm contacting a lot of people. We'll see. That night I went to a skating event with some people from the hostel, and afterwards I fell into my bed. The next day I met up with Tabea, who a friend from home connected me with, and she was so nice not only to host me but to also show me around Malmö. And honestly, I could show you a million videos because there's so much history there, so many cool buildings, so yeah, I really enjoyed it. Together we went to the Hillsong Malmö church, and I know I said I was originally looking to go to a Swedish-speaking church, but I'm so glad I came here. Everyone was so nice, and I met Erik and Michael, who answered some questions for me.
So I'm Michael. We're sitting here on the rooftop of Hillsong Malmö, and I do some more administrative work. And yeah.
My name is Erik. I'm a youth leader here in Hillsong Malmö for Young and Free. I grew up secular, typical Swedish. I became Christian and it really changed my entire life. And I know that in Sweden, when you're young especially, it's very hard. Often, like, you're the only Christian kid in your class or in your football team or stuff like that. And creating a community where the youth can come together and, like, be part of something that is so big and so important. I remember when I first came here, like, very quickly, people introduced themselves and I got baptized. Even more people introduced themselves, like, everyone came up to me. And, people just want to talk. Like, there's so much love in the people. And, yeah. For the city, Malmö, we want to spread the word, I think. There's a lot of, like, we live in a broken world. There's a lot of people that they're scared, there's crime. And it's like the economy is bad and there's so much bad stuff going on. And the culture isn't helping, and Jesus is, I don't think, has ever been more important than right now for people, because the church is really far away from most people.
Like, it's like 80% of the country is Christian,
yeah.
But like most of it is just like based on tradition. Like, you go to church when someone is baptized, like your kid is baptized, when you're married, funerals, stuff like that, and maybe for Easter or Christmas. That's the vast majority of people.
Yeah.
There are probably people who, like, go to church on a regular basis too, and are active in church, but it's not the commonality. Malmö is also just a place that has so much like variety in people.
Yeah.
where we kind of like, we have a chance to reach out to so many different peoples of all walks of life.
Very diverse.
Both like artists, we got people who are into business, people who are engineers, whatnot, like it's everything. And it's a pretty cool place to actually get to reach out to different communities at the same time.
Yeah.
The next day, I got myself ready and then I was off on my bike again. Of course, I had to take some snack breaks and then eventually I made it to Helsingborg. I've been editing all day, so I haven't been able to use my free day, but I just went out to look at the beach and look where I am. It's so pretty. After that full day of editing, I was rewarded with perfect biking weather, and I really loved exploring all the different nature that Sweden has to offer. I even made a friend along the way, but eventually I was faced with this problem. Okay, so here's the situation. My GPS put me on like another grass route. So it took me so much strength to get here. My bike is still back there because I wanted to check out whether I could make it on this actual street that I saw. And now I realized this is the only thing I can do to go down here. And there's some type of fence with like pikes in it, which is bad for my tires. So I'm probably gonna have to take all of my bags off of my bike, carry my bike over this fence, down this steep thing, and then over there, and then assemble everything on the street again. So this one looks a little better. There's no fence, so I actually might take this one. But the part over there is much steeper, and there's water here. So I'll have to take everything off my bike and then put everything back on. So at this point I was already pretty tired from pushing the bike over the grass, but I took everything off. And then I pushed my bike over this, little water muddy part. And I fast forwarded this quite a bit because it took me a while. But eventually I got the job done. I did it. I'm so proud of myself. My bike is on the street. Now I'm gonna get all my stuff and I'll show you my shoes. I completely ruined these shoes, but I knew that white was a bad decision. Hopefully there's a laundry washer in my Airbnb. Oh, I'm so glad I did it. So I reassembled my bike and was so happy when I made it to the destination of my day. I even got my shoes clean again, and I enjoyed another day of perfect biking weather. I found this beautiful lunch spot on the beach on my last day, and that pretty much sums up my time in Sweden. As always, I would be so grateful if you haven't subscribed to do that now, and then you can see when I put out new videos every Thursday. If you want to support my project, you can do that by liking this video and leaving a comment. I always feel so encouraged by your words. Next Thursday, I will share my trip from Sweden over to Denmark, and this was really special, so I hope you will tune in again.